Hello, welcome to another episode for the Wartime Productions podcast. Today, I am here in a decrepit back room in my school with Schladdy Daddy.
What if the
And
ELA teacher plays this?
if she plays it out loud,
We're done.
I need you to get me out of that room immediately.
So, shotgun us both in the head?
Yep, anyway, so today we are going to be talking about what Shane knows of the Russia-Ukraine war. That is what our theme is for this episode. So, Shane, do you need any basics laid out?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
I barely know about it. I don't even know how it started.
It started.
Was it because
the
of
first
power?
invasion started in 2021 when 2021 because this is its third year. Yes. What happened was Russia invaded Ukraine and they were doing really good up until the fight for Kyiv. Do you know what happened at Kyiv, which basically fucked them over?
Like how, though?
Well, like, what do you think happened? I can give you a layout of the battle.
So, was Ukraine doing really good?
No. Russia, before anyone aided, they were getting just hammered. They got all the way... Hello there, how are you?
Are you filming?
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
No, you're good.
Wait, are we supposed to do it in partners? Can we do it in more than 2 people?
I mean, partners is really not described as 2, 3, 4. I classify
You
it.
should ask me something tomorrow if I can join your net. Well, no, because we're going to start today. I wanted to be in your group, and then you walked out of the room before I could.
I'm sorry.
Who's that? Continue.
Okay, so Ukraine is basically all of their territory is gone. They are about to lose Kyiv. They actually did lose Kyiv eventually, but they were like almost non-existent. What happened was in the battle with Kyiv, what went wrong for the Russians? Shane, what went wrong for the Russians? Do you know?
Is it because America aided Ukraine?
No, America didn't intervene yet. What happened was they were going after this airport, this airfield. They were going to have a air invasion of troops with helicopters, and they were going to be wiping out. Muchos gracias. They were going to be wiping out. Adios. They were going to be wiping out like the main wave of Ukrainian resistance, so they could get to Kyiv. But the Ukrainian military was there, waiting with javelins. Do you know what those are? No. That not the javelins they use for not for fencing. No. The Anvil rocket launcher from Fortnite, right? That's the best way I can describe this for you. The Anvil rocket launcher from Fortnite.
Okay.
Okay, so they had a bunch of those taking out helicopters one by one because helicopters do not have capabilities to get rid of a missile, especially Russian helicopters. Fighter jets can launch. Do you know what flares are? Okay, not the ones you pull to where you can see, the ones that are released from a jet, right? You know what those are? Okay, good. Jets have those. Helicopters really don't, especially Russian helicopters. So, what ended up happening was they were there, they were waiting, That happened. It was a bloody battle. They landed a couple. The land units came. They took Kyiv. Not for very long.
What is that though?
What's-
Kyiv.
That is the capital of Ukraine.
Oh, okay.
If we were to pull up a map, it is like right smack dab almost in the middle of Ukraine, just up a little bit. They also, I'm fairly certain they invaded from Belarus. Do you know where Belarus is? Towards the top, where where Kyiv is. Belarus borders Russia to this side, Ukraine on the bottom, and then I think Poland over here. Yeah, they border Poland. So that's that country. But do you know why the U.S. and United Nations helped Ukraine?
Fuck.
Take your time.
Wasn't it because they were like low on soldiers? Because they had Russia had more than.
Yes, but do you believe there was a ulterior motive for the United States and the United Nations to help? Do you believe they had something that they didn't want to happen, so they aided?
Oh, because wasn't Russia gonna originally? Didn't they have like a missile? Not like a missile or something. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's fine. Once they took Ukraine, Putin wanted to reform the USSR. Do you remember what that is? The Soviet Union. The most powerful country globally before it fell. He wants it back. So he was taking Ukraine, saying it was his land, it belonged to Russia. Joseph Stalin gave it to him. It's going on and on. Well, if he took Ukraine, he would then have access to Moldova. Do you know where that is? They're sandwiched between Romania and Ukraine. Then they have access to Romania, which I think is a part of NATO. I don't directly know. You cannot directly quote me on that. I think they were a part of NATO. I think.
This is a learning lesson for me.
Yes, but they are also like a really good alliance member. They would also be able to take the Baltic states, which, by the way, those are a part of NATO. But another thing that Putin was not going to be happy about was he was going to have the NATO border be straight up against Russia. Yeah. The most powerful military alliance in the history of the world was going to be right against one country's border. Do you know why NATO was created? To prevent the expansion of the Soviet Union.
Oh, that would explain it. I
Yes.
don't know why I didn't think of that.
Because the Soviets, at the time, they held Kazakhstan, the Baltic states, Poland, Ukraine, Belarus. At the height of it, before the Berlin Wall fell, they held big parts of Germany. Now, I just want you to imagine that, like, half of Germany, let's say. Half of Germany the Soviets have.
That's
On top of all the other land they possess. Now, once the Berlin Wall fell, that's when the Soviet Union collapsed or started its really big decline.
mm-hmm.
But focus on the Ukraine-Russian war. That's his motive. And Putin can't really keep his shenanigans up much longer. And you said this reason earlier, not so much for the Ukrainian side, but for the Russian side. They keep running on the soldiers. It's too costly. Their weapons aren't good. There's a video I watched with my dad of their body armor plates. You can bend them. A fully intact one. You can bend them. They poke through when you shoot them with a 9mm. They are not doing so good.
They are not.
They ordered the Temu version. Fun fact, did you know Putin has a international court warrant out for his arrest?
What?
Yes, in any country that is a part of the international court, which Russia is not, he has a warrant out for his arrest and should be arrested immediately.
Oh.
You know why everyone's mad at Mongolia right now?
Because they're not doing it.
Because he visited Mongolia
And they didn't
and
arrest
they didn't arrest him. Which had the biggest uproar across news outlets I've seen in a while. Everyone was furious. Because he has like several different war crimes. Fun fact, he targeted hospitals, alright? Hospitals. Which, by the way, if you target hospitals or schools or civilian areas and civilians are injured, that is a war crime. War crime, I say. Now, it's not a war crime the first time, but it's not the first time. Now, it would be the first time if, let's say, someone decided to make a flamethrower booby trap through the entire street. That would be a first. And that's not the point. That is why he currently has it out for his arrest. He is a war criminal. And he keeps on trying to take Ukraine. Now, I want you to put yourself in his position right now. What do you think is going through his head?
He's probably stressed, pissed the fuck off, and also worried because he has like whatever that place's name is, like right next against Russia.
Well, okay, so
I'm sorry, I don't know.
he was concerned about NATO bordering Russia, but once he invaded, Finland joined NATO, and then Ukraine kept on trying to apply for membership, and they can't get accepted until they get until their war's up, because you know what Article 5 is in NATO.
No.
An attack on one is an attack on all. So if NATO was to accept them right now, that means it is a World War III. And Russia actually shoots its nuclear warheads if they work. Which then means world destruction. Hence the famous Albert Einstein saying we do not know when the Third World War will happen, but the Fourth will be fought with sticks and stones. Meaning, he was a part of the Manhattan Project, the first nuclear bomb that was made. Meaning, he knows
About
if we go to war with any other country that has them, and they are losing, they are not going to hesitate in trying to reset everyone back to zero. Which, for us, would be Detroit's gone, Lansing's gone, basically everything below us is gone. We would be technically safe because we have, 2,200 people in our little town of Harrison?
Mm-hmm.
So we'd be safe. The entire country's not. California is densely populated, so if you target anywhere in there, everyone's dead. You take out Washington, D.C., that's the command structure down. You take out Washington State, there's a area where they communicate with all their naval forces in the Pacific via radio towers and all that. You take that out. There's one over in Maine for the Atlantic Fleet. There's so many ways that saying becomes true, which is why we haven't put feet on the ground to help. Because if we really wanted it done, if we really wanted it to stop, we would go and do something. Which we haven't. And fun fact, did you know that Russia's pulled another nuclear card?
Really?
A formal threat against the United States. Probably along the lines of, hang on. If you do not stop aiding this rebellious country against the mighty Russian Republic, you will receive a nuclear strike upon your several major cities. Now, that's what I would assume it went along, or at least seemed like, because everything they say has just become a joke at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Also, did you know on Monday they blew up a oil facility in Crimea, the Crimean Peninsula? You know where that is, right? 2014, Russia took that. It was either 2014, 2017,
Okay.
Russia took the Crimean Peninsula.
You're confusing me with the recent lab that exploded in Georgia, I think it was.
No. Ukraine.
Yeah.
They laid a artillery strike onto a oil facility that was aiding the Russian military in the Crimean Peninsula, which was annexed by Russia in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a major victory for them. But also, by any chance have you noticed that when they stop their support, when the U.S. stops their support, they start losing?
The Russians?
No, Ukraine.
Ukraine?
Yes. Because they don't have a constant flow of their own weapons. Now, America... I'm getting off topic. Fun fact, Ukraine invaded Russia. What I mean by that is, so the countries like this, they are really holding their territory right here, yeah? You see this little part right here?
Mm-hmm.
They saw it. So, what I believe they're going to do is either keep invading and make a march to Moscow, and then Ukraine technically just won the war, and Russia's no longer Russia. Or they're going to use the Russian land as leverage to get their country back. Or they're going to encircle around that camp, flank them from the back, and they now just have bigger territory, and then they go on a march into Russia. Personally, I think circling the enemy and then making a march through Russia sounds like a perfect strategy. Me, personally. But, for time's sake, we are out. So, Shane, give me a summary of what you've learned today.
So Ukraine is trying to invade Russia.
They aren't trying, they have invaded Russia for leverage. Thank you for joining me. I will see you all next time, and until then, bye-bye!